Hey,
Thanks for the warning.
absolutely.
It continue.
Not that we would, of course.
Everybody, this is Alice. She says hello.
Alice?
My
Hi,
kid, she
Alice.
says
Hi.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, Alice.
Hi, Alice.
Hi,
Get rid of this
Karen.
thing.
Hey, Barry.
Hello.
Oh, they're not beginning
Yeah.
yet.
Starting, hun.
Do you have that big thing says thank you for joining us on your screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that'll go away.
Yeah,
Eventually.
And then we're gonna have
Come-
the chairs up
come
there
go.
so you can follow along with us.
Here, brother.
Is that okay?
Okay.
There you go.
Ah! Yay!
You don't show.
It's okay. I have video.
Is there something?
Stop video, no. Stop video.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So good to have you all with us. Well, you don't have to wait much longer. The beautiful words that the cantor has just shared with us come from the end of the 27th Psalm, which we've been reading all month, some of us studying, and it ends with those words, wait for Adonai. Well, another week, one more week. When we join together at this time next week, we'll be welcoming 5781. So it's so great to have you here for this last Shabbat of 5780. What a year it has been, indeed. And I know we all look forward to beginning again, renewing our journey. So we're going to, for this last time in 5780, light Shabbat candles. Light, which reminds us of the light we bring into each other's lives, the divine light of God's presence that we share with each other when we come together as community. And our candles will be lit by Jody Yeskel and family, who Jody celebrated her birthday this week, and we'll let her introduce herself to you.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Jody Yeskel. With me are my husband David and our daughter Sasha. We've been members of University Synagogue for 10 years. I honor the gift of stillness and rest, a day devoted to peace. Peace within my soul. On this day I have everything I need. Peace with those around me. On this day I seek no quarrel or strife. Peace of earth and sky, green trees and quiet water. I give thanks that I am present in this world. I celebrate the miracle of existence, the breath within me, the beating of my heart, the love that blesses my life.
kitshano b'mitzvotav mitzivanu להדליק נר של שבת, להדליק נר של שבת.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Jody. So we turn to the words of Lecha Dodi, which of course speak of Shabbat as our beloved, and we eagerly run out to welcome Shabbat as we would a beloved. There are weeks when we more eagerly run to greet Shabbat because it just seems like we really need to be in that presence, to be celebrating and in the presence of Shabbat. And I know for me personally, this week very much feels like one of those weeks where I'm eagerly rushing out and can't wait for Shabbat to arrive. So we welcome Shabbat with Lecha Dodi. Please all join with us.
And as Rabbi suggested to us, we can rise to this moment, standing up, light in your places.
And if you are standing, we invite you to remain so as we join together in the Baruch Hu. If you're not and would like to, invite you to please rise as we join together.
Change my life at home. How will I respond to the prayers request when I have a choice? Will I choose to bless?
Rabbi, you're muted.
Thank you. Every moment of this strange and lovely life, from dawn to dusk, is a miracle. Somewhere always a rose is opening its petals to the dawn. Somewhere always a flower is fading in the dusk. The incense that rises with the sun and the scents that die in the dark, all are gathered sooner or later into the solitary fragrance that is God. Faintly, elusively, that fragrance lingers over all of us. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of twilight and dusk. And again, if you would like to, I invite you to please rise as we join together in the Shema.
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Shema Yisrael, Adonai You're still standing. You can take a seat now as we continue with this continuation of the words of the Shema. Sometimes we call it separately the Ve'ahavta, but these words are just as important. We should love. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, amen.
As we are reminded often, we were slaves and we were freed. And from that idea comes the great sacred task of bringing freedom to others. Physical freedom, emotional freedom, spiritual freedom. Our task is to help those along their journey to find the freedom that they seek, whatever that freedom is, because we were slaves, because we know what it means to be enslaved. We seek the freedom of all others. And so as a reminder of that, we join together in these words that we sang on the shore of the sea. Yes, we, because we were all there. And so let's join together now in this song of freedom as we are reminded of our responsibility to bring that freedom to all others seeking out their own freedom. It is true that a Jew never worships as an isolated individual, but as a part of the community of Israel. Yet it is within the heart of every individual that prayer takes place. It is a personal journey and an intimate act which cannot be delegated to either the cantor or to the whole community. We pray with all of Israel and every one of us by ourselves. And so we say in the singular, Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. As we turn to the tefillah, which we will continue with silently, I invite you to rise if you are able and would like to at your own seat to continue with the words on the next few screens. And if you would like, please feel free to put your blessings and prayers for each other, for the community, into our chat box as well. And when you're prepared to do so, of course, you may be seated. This wild and crazy journey that we've been on for, 6 months now has had many of us looking at ways to improve our skills in areas we might not have otherwise taken time for. Sure, if I look for a show of hands, many of you could tell me that you've been doing something. There's been an awful lot of baking going on, I know. I see the pictures all over the internet. And I've also heard recently on the news that hardware stores are having great difficulty keeping items in stock. It appears everyone is involved in some DIY home project as well. We've here in my home been involved in both of these things. And additionally for me, I've been working on my meditation practice, actually. Has anybody else been doing that? Well, so here's my pre-high holiday confession. I'm not the best meditator. My mind is always running off to someplace else. It could be a to-do list, something that needs to be done in the future, or maybe I'm replaying events and conversations in my head that I've had previously, but staying in the moment, focusing on this moment is actually not my forte. Of course, those of you who have tried meditation, and as I could see, there's more than a few of you that have been working on your meditation practice during this time, you know that losing focus during meditation is a pretty common occurrence, actually. And when you do, if you have a meditation guide, often you hear them call you to your attention to the fact that your attention has drifted away and very gently urging you back into focus. Different practices do this in different ways. The meditation that I was recently listening to instructed me to notice that my mind had wandered off and just say, thank you, and then return to my meditation focus. What every meditation practice reminds you not to do is to fall into judging yourself, berating yourself for losing your focus, which of course might lead to just giving up the practice altogether. You're just to gently take note that you have drifted off and go back to where it is you want to be. It's okay. It happens. Forgive yourself and return to where you're supposed to be. Now that might sound a little familiar to all of you. If it doesn't, it should, because this aspect of meditation practice is so similar to the task that we're asked to perform at this time of year. Forgive, return, move on. The gentle reminders of my meditation practice, I realized as I was thinking about them, are a form of teshuvah. Not repentance with a great big capital R. I'm not sure which way to do that on the screen that looks like I'm making an R in the right direction. But just kind of a, hey, you've wandered off a bit. It's okay. Just recognize it, let it go, and get back on the path. These days are filled with such reminders, all meant to gently guide us back to the path. Over these past 8 weeks, for instance, we've been listening to haftarot of consolation, messages from the prophet Isaiah that say to us in one way or another, God loves you. God's not interested in punishing you or judging you, just that you recognize you have strayed, ask forgiveness, and change the direction you're going in. Of course, this is Isaiah's message to us. Don't be hard on yourself. You're human. It happens. Just recognize it, acknowledge it, and let it go. Refocus on what is most important and vital to your life. All of this is summed up in the 27th Psalm, which we've been speaking a lot about during this month. Many of us have been listening to it all month. One thing I ask, that I might dwell in God's house all the days of my life. Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai, to dwell in the house of God. So what do we need to do to arrive at God's dwelling place? And what do we have to do to remain there? And of course, there is the blast of the shofar. I hesitate to call it a gentle reminder, but it is indeed a wake-up call to the fact that we have wandered away from God's dwelling place and now need to find our way back. So here we are. Here we are in this moment. Let's just stay in this moment for a moment. We've been on this journey now literally for weeks, since Tisha B'Av, even before the month of Elul. And now we stand here, literally, at the very edge of time between 5780 and 5781. We've made this journey standing shoulder to shoulder, even when we couldn't physically stand shoulder to shoulder. We are standing shoulder to shoulder with the Israelites as they and we stand at the border of a promised land. Together, we've listened to Moses' words in the book of Deuteronomy, reminding us of our journey over these past several weeks, asking us to reflect on how it is that we arrived at this place that we find ourselves at in this moment. We've heard Moses' instructions about how to actually create a promised land, and we have each considered the role we must play in making that dream into a reality. And now we find Moses calling out from this week's portion, Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem lifnei Adonai Elohechem. You are standing here today, all of you, before Adonai. Atem nitzavim, you stand here. Now, those of you a little familiar with Hebrew may be more familiar with the word stand being omed, as in the Amidah, the standing prayer. But here we have another word for standing, nitzav, nitzavim, standing, which is more than physical standing. It is about being aware, being present, being focused. We are being asked, as we say, hear the words atem natzavim, we are being asked, are you here? Are you aware? Are you paying attention? Are you focused? Are you ready to cross over? What will we choose for ourselves, for our families, for our friends, for our community? Will we choose life and blessing, our parasha asks this week? We have reached, indeed, the moment of choice. Over the next weeks, we have the opportunity to make choices that will determine what we build in the land that we are about to enter next Friday night. Will it be a dwelling place for God, that we might dwell in God's presence? As our portion this week reminds us, the choice indeed is ours. The answer is not too difficult to find. Not on a mountain, not in the heavens or across the sea. No, as we are told, it is in our hearts. And we can do it. We can do it. Over these coming days, we can do it. All it takes is recognizing that, well, we've wandered off. We lost our focus. We just need to gently acknowledge it, lovingly let it go, forgive ourselves, grant forgiveness to others, and refocus our attention on the place in which we are all standing right now. Because the time has arrived to cross over. Shabbat Shalom and Shana Tova. And so on this last Shabbat of this year, Parashat Nitzavim, I'd like to share this meditation with you. We stand here today. We stand here today with all those we love, with all those with whom we joyfully share this passage through life. We stand here today with all those we have been taught to call other, and those we have learned to demonize and hate. We stand here today with all those who came before us, the generations upon whose shoulders we stand. And we stand here today with all who will come after us, our children's 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 children, who will someday call us ancestor. We stand here today to enter into a covenant, to live in harmony with each other and all the world. We gather to step across boundaries of fear, anger, and pain, to ease our inclinations toward contention and to release our need to always be right. We gather to make a commitment to love, to act with kindness, to seek understanding, to offer forgiveness, to be of service. We gather to make a commitment to see the divine in all. This is not too much for you, the one declares. It is not beyond your capacity. It is not beyond your reach. All this is very close to you. It is in your mouth and in your heart to do. Choose life. Choose relationship. Choose to return again and again to being loving and kind. This is not too much for you. It is in your mouth and in your heart to do. We stand here today, all of us together on the threshold of a new year. May we inspire each other to live with compassion and awareness, to make choices that bring forth forgiveness and love. And may our words and deeds unfold in such a way that our children's 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 children will say, "Let us give thanks for our ancestors, and let us give thanks for this beautiful, love-filled world they have left in their wake." And we say to that, Amen. As we think about where we are standing, there is so much in our world in this moment in need of healing. There are places in need of healing and people in need of healing, and there are those we hold in our hearts in need of healing. So much healing. Our prayers are so needed as we think of all those in need of physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. As we listen to the words of Misha Berach, I invite you to, first, if you would like, actually before we even listen to the words of Misha Berach, if you would like to unmute yourself for a moment and to call out the names of those for whom you are praying this Shabbat, to do so, you can certainly enter their names in our chat box as well.
Roz and Sandy Weissman.
Rabbi Morley Feinstein.
Put it in there.
It's in there. Rabbi
Alice
Feinstein.
Weissman, Nan Zaitlin, Josh Mills, Freda Vieira, Rabbi Morley, Roberta Smith.
Oh, that's right. Roberta Smith.
We'll continue with the words of Misha Berach and invite you to continue to place names into our chat box.
Jennifer Miller.
We're having a little bit of a technical difficulty. So rather than hearing the pre-recorded version with Susan, who we love hearing her because she brings so much to everything we do, I'm going to just sing it unaccompanied. So I'll ask you in your homes to please join me. I miss hearing your voices joined with mine. Misha Berach Avoteinu Avraham Yitzchak V'Yaakov Rivka Rachel Leah Yivarech V'Yirapeh et hacholim Revana Ena Revana Rivka, Rachel v'Leah, Hu yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. May we all be blessed with complete healing. May the ones that we are praying for know healing in this moment.
We turn to Aleinu now. And as we have been reminded all summer long, the word Aleinu reminds us that it is up to us to create the world that we want to create, that world whose border we now stand upon. And so as we consider our tasks for the coming year, our tasks for the high holy days, I invite you to please rise if you're able, and we'll join together in the Aleinu.
That's not it.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. As we prepare for Kaddish Yatom today, as we prepare for the Kaddish, this day may be hard for many of us for different reasons. Perhaps you're remembering a loved one who passed away during this season in years past. I know for me today is particularly difficult as it is the 19th anniversary of the terrible tragedies that befell our country on September 11th. And I was a New Yorker at the time. It's a hard day for many of us. And as we remember, let us bring compassion, as Rabbi reminded us so beautifully earlier today, to bring compassion to the forefront for others and for ourselves. Before we engage in Kaddish Yatom, before we engage in the Kaddish, I wanted to read this beautiful poem called The Names by Billy Collins, and this was written in response and in memory for September 11th. Yesterday, I lay awake in the palm of the night. A soft rain stole in, unhelped by any breeze. And when I saw the silver glaze on the windows, I started with Ackerman as it happened, then Baxter and Calabro, Davis and Eberling, names falling into place as droplets fell through the dark. Names printed on the ceiling of the night. Names slipping around a watery bend. 26 willows on the bank of a stream. In the morning, I walked out barefoot among thousands of flowers, heavy with dew like the eyes of tears, and each had a name. Fury inscribed on a yellow petal, then Gonzalez and Han, Ishikawa and Jenkins. Names written in the air and stitched into the cloth of the day, a name under a photograph taped to a mailbox. Monogram on a torn shirt, I see you spelled out on storefront windows. And on the bright, unfurled awnings of this city, I say the syllables as I turn a corner, Kelly and Lee, Medina, Nardella, and O'Connor. When I peer into the woods, I see a thick tangle where the letters are hidden, as in a puzzle concocted for children. Parker and Quigley in the twigs of an ash, Rizzo Schubert and secrets in the boughs of an ancient maple. Names written in the pale sky, names rising in the updraft amid buildings, names silent in stone or cried out behind a door. Names blown over the earth and out to sea, in the evening weakening light, the last swallows. A boy on a lake lifts his oars. A woman by a window puts a match to a candle, and the names are outlined on the rose clouds, Vanacore and Wallace. Let X stand, if it can, for the ones unfound. Then Young and Zeminski and the final jolt of Z. Names etched on the head of a pin. One name spanning a bridge, another undergoing a tunnel, a blue name needled into the skin. Names of citizens, workers, mothers and fathers, the bright-eyed daughter, the quick son, alphabet of names in a green field, names in the small tracks of birds, names lifted from a hat or balanced on the tip of a tongue, names wheeled into the dim warehouse of memory. So many names, there is barely room on the walls of the heart.
As we remember all those lost on this day 19 years ago, we call to mind as well those close to our own hearts, those who members of our community have lost in recent days, those families who are in a period of Shiva or Shloshim, the first 7 or 30 days of mourning. We remember Linda Lee Chesler, wife of Leonard, mother of Stuart, and Iva, Lori, and Ken. We remember Dr. T. Richard Herlick, husband of Joan, father of Justin and Melanie, grandfather of Sophia and Marley. Rabbi Joseph Hurwitz, father of Doreen and Todd Gelfand, grandfather of Brian, Monica, Ilana, Marcus, Ben and Sammy, and great-grandfather of Isla, Addie, Riley, and Lively. And Adele Israel Zales, mother of Robert and Gail Israel, grandmother of Jesse and Rachel. And we call to mind as well those whose yahrzeit falls on this Shabbat, the anniversary of their passing remembered this day. Francis Barris, Barnett Cooperman, William Feinstein, Sadie Friedman, Samuel Galper, Ida Goldenfeld, Jenny Gross, Robert Heyman, Sylvia Kaplan, Molly Kirshner, Eric Lertzman, Michael Lertzman, Sandy Lertzman, Rebecca Lever, Edward Matlin, Cassie Plattis, Celia Reifman, Joseph Roseman, Terrell Shanbrom, Lois Soret, Samuel Steingold, Myron Sturman, Hannah Tannenbaum, Helen Tarr, Anatoly Vulichman, Sandy Wesley. As we remember each of them, we say Zichronam Livracha. May their memories be always a source of blessing. As we turn to these words of remembrance, I would invite you, if you are able and would like to please rise. So we'll join together in the words of Kaddish. Yit Gadal V'Yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma Divrach Yerutei V'Yamlich Malchutei B'chayechon U'Vyomechon V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agalav Izman Kariv Imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam U'Lamei Almaya Yitbarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitromam V'Yitnaseh V'it Adar, V'it Alev, V'it Halal, Shemei Dekutsha, Richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, comfort to all the bereaved among us as we say, Amen.
Amen.
If you have a Kiddush cup by you, we invite you to raise it now as we sanctify this day, this Shabbat, sanctify this sacred time and the sweetness of the time that we spend together as community, as family, as friends. Please join with us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikroi kodesh, Zeicher litziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodecha ve'ahava v'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen. And by way of the magic of technology, we welcome Ezra Krieger to join us. It is his birthday today, actually, maybe his birthday, I can't remember. But celebrating with us, he is going to, and his family will lead us in Motzi. So if you have a challah with you somewhere, go ahead and grab onto it and we'll join together.
We keep the entire Krieger family in our prayers at this moment. They're Ezra's cousin and Lauren and Jen's niece is missing. There's information on social media, so if if you're my Facebook friend, go ahead and find me. You can share it on your page as well. And hopefully will lead to her safe return. And I know that all of us join in prayers for the whole family. Okay, well, we can see the wonderful Kriegers, and unfortunately we're having trouble getting their audio. So I'm going to ask everybody to unmute and to look at their lovely faces. We're going to make a little bit of holy cacophony together for just a
Yeah.
short time.
Great.
And we're going to join in Motzi together.
With
On
the
the count
Krieger.
of 3.
Yeah, there's the video.
1, 2, 3. Baruch
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
Hamotzi
hamotzi Shabbat shalom.
Batei avon.
I agree. Yes.
No, you did the blessing.
So, Olam Chesed Yibaneh. I will build this world from love. Boy, does this song, these words, this melody have such deep meaning on this day. It was about 7 years ago. You're going to be amazed. 7 years ago that I was having an interview and audition with University Synagogue. And I was asked to teach a song that the congregation did not know. So I reached out to Cantor J ahead of time and asked, did the congregation know this song, Olam Chesed? And he said that in fact they did not. And so this was the song that I chose to bring to you all on that fateful day so many years ago. And taught it to a small group of people during my audition period. And Rabbi Feinstein fell so deeply in love with it that I think for the first year I was here, we closed with this song almost every single Shabbat for a full year, because he really wanted people to learn it and really make it a part of their hearts and souls. And I think that has happened to the extent that it was so important to remind all of you that this is relatively new in terms of the history of University Synagogue, because I bet a lot of you probably think we've been singing this forever. That's what happens with songs that we love. Something else that's really special about this song as it relates to this particular day, these words were written by Menachem Creditor, Rabbi Menachem Creditor. They were written immediately after 9/11. And they were written to his brand new baby daughter as a response, his response to the violence and hatred that he saw proliferating in the world. And his response was a response of chesed, of love, of kindness, of openness, of softness. So today I was invited actually to lead a meditation for the Institute for Jewish Spirituality, and our whole bent was about returning to compassion. And so we took these words Olam Chesed and we added a little verse here that comes from lyrics of a song called Rachamim, which was performed by Ofra Haza and written by the poet Yechiel Mohar. So we're going to do Olam Chesed. Because it's so hard for us to sing together over Skype, I'm going to ask you to stay muted, but please do sing along with me in your homes. I can see you when you are singing along with me. It is upon us. It is upon us to build this world from love, to build this world from kindness, to build from compassion. And we can start by focusing our minds in that direction, as Rabbi so beautifully encouraged us to do earlier. Let's do so in song. Yiddish if you want, so you know what I'm singing about while I do it. Rachamim, ay rachamim, tistakeh ve'ayin sim, ve'ulai tasim gam lev, ech becholim terav lev. Shoshana ben Achamim, bishbelcha rachamim. Shoshana ben Achachim, bishbelcha rachamim. Olam chesed, olam chesed Scott's making his way over to this side of the screen.
Want to thank Scott, who actually was running our slides tonight. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and Shana Tova to you all. May it be a wonderful and sweet and blessed new year. So there we go. There you all are. Hello.
Shabbat shalom, Shana Tova.
Shana
Shalom, everybody.
We want to remind you about a couple of things just before we move to Shabbat Shalom. There they are. There we are. Oh, Chevrat Torah tomorrow. Slichot tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Hopefully you all received information by email over the week about how you can participate, join in, connect to our Slichot program with Temple Emmanuel and Kehilat Israel. Monday is the second of my 3 classes about Psalm 27. Please join us. We had a wonderful discussion on this past Monday. Would love to have you join us. You do have to register, and there's information for that on the somewhere website. Yes. And Wednesday is the Cantor's discussion of the color of love, and in preparation for being joined by Mara Gad on the afternoon of Yom Kippur. We are so lucky and blessed to have her joining us. So please join with us Wednesday evening. And next Friday, 6:30, right here. Erev Rosh Hashanah. We'll be here waiting. We'll be here waiting for you. I have a feeling there may be a few more pictures on the screen. I'm not sure.
Not here, actually, on YouTube Live.
Oh,
YouTube
That. Never mind. Shh. I didn't. Yeah. Thank you. Erase that from the recording.
And make sure that you register even if you're a member, so you can have access to the members only programs. Very important. Go on our website and register for the High Holy Days. We want to see you there. We want you to have access to everything you deserve. And thank you for being our members.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There will be breakout rooms after services next Friday night, about 7:45 for members only, to share in Rosh Hashanah dinner together, or just Rosh Hashanah dessert together, a little honey cake, and getting to know other members of the community. So if you're interested, you'll be able to join back. I think that is on Zoom to to join in breakout rooms and say hello to others from the community. And now, well, you're all unmuted already. I loved hearing all your voices singing, even though it sounds crazy. I loved having us all sing together. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Hi, Roz.
Shalom, everyone.
Hi,
Shalom.
Deb.
Shabbat shalom.
Roz.
Or
Both Rozes. Pick a Roz, any Roz.
Hills.
Shabbat shalom.
Ozzy's
Shabbat
here.
shalom, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. Thank you so much, Cantor. What a
You're
beautiful
welcome.
evening.
Beautiful, beautiful service.
Thank you. So good to see you all. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Guys,
Thank you.
too.
You too.
Rabbi, thank you for reading my father's name for his yard site.
Oh, you're welcome.
And my sister, Sandy
Of
Wesley.
course.
A lovely service.
Of course. Thank you.
All next week. I'm leaving. Bye.
Be well, stay safe.
Stay
Thank you. I
safe.
will.
Stay
I'll
safe.
see you Monday, Ann.
Great. Great.
Oh, you know what, you guys? I was going to say that I could keep this very selfishly between me and Karen and the rabbi about the class on Monday.
And Marina.
It is, and Marina, it's fantastic. It's just so wonderful. Sign up.
Thanks, Ann.
Oh, it was. And you're braver than I, and you're more selfless than I, because I wasn't going to say anything. But no, it was just so lovely and so wonderful.
Thank you.
I can hardly wait till Monday.
Oh, good.
Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat
Bye,
shalom.
everybody. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. Have a
Shabbat
good
shalom.
evening, everybody. So good to see you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How about yourself?
Doing just fine. We're hanging in, just like everybody else, I think.
Your voice is even more beautiful on Zoom.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
It is beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks. I hope to see you on the High Holy Days.
You will.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.